The morning Karen forged a dead man's signature to steal my 3,500-acre ranch changed everything forever. I pulled onto that familiar Wyoming dirt road expecting nothing but peace. Sagebrush dust filled my lungs like always. Cottonwood Creek whispered its usual welcome. But halfway down the drive, dread hit me hard. Strange trucks blocked my gate. Men in shiny vests loaded my grandfather's old feed wagon. Another crew yanked the branding chute like it was junk. My heart slammed slow and heavy. A bright red notice flapped on the post. Foreclosure sold to HOA bidder effective immediately. I had never missed a single bill in my life. No mortgage, no dispute, nothing. Yet my family legacy was gone on paper. That's when her voice sliced the air. "Mr. Carter, we've been expecting you," she said sweetly. There stood Karen Croft, HOA president. Tall, polished in a red wool coat that screamed city slicker. Blonde hair pinned tighter than barbed wire. Clipboard clutched like a weapon of war. Her board minions hovered, logging every tool. "Not stealing, just transferring ownership," she smiled thin. "The property auctioned yesterday, procedures followed." Procedures? My fist crushed that paper. "I never missed any tax payment," I growled back. "What auction exactly?" She didn't flinch one bit. "Foreclosure for delinquent community impact fees totaling $78,000. The HOA placed a lien months ago. You received notice." I shot back hard. "I'm not part of any HOA, never signed, never agreed." She tapped her clipboard like a shiny badge of power. "Boundary adjustments filed last year, Cedar Hills, extended jurisdiction. Membership automatic now," she declared smug. "My grandfather bought this ranch in '54. Long before your beige houses and plastic rules existed. You don't get to auto-enroll my land," I snapped. She shrugged, casual as stealing a man's soul. "Community standards exist for stability, consequences follow." Her goons kept hauling my life away piece by piece. "You're trespassing now, best gather personal items and leave." Her smile widened just enough to crack my calm. "You think a piece of paper takes 3,500 acres? She turned and walked away, signaling her army onward. That cold anger settled deep in my bones. I drove straight to the HOA community center. My boots thudded loud on those polished steps. Inside, a meeting raged with projector glowing. My ranch outlined in HOA blue like graffiti. Karen stood at the podium, coat draped like victory. "Mr. Carter, you're not on the agenda," she announced. "This is for verified Cedar Hills owners only." I marched down the aisle, eyes burning. "I'm here to learn how my ranch landed on your map." Some golf vest guy piped up, "Boundary realignment, perfectly legal. Filed at county offices, we mailed notices to all." I almost laughed out loud. "You mailed to my expired P.O. box from 2009. Karen blinked like it was my fault alone. "We are not responsible for your outdated contact info. You manufactured fees mailed to nothing, then foreclosed." I snapped, voice rising. She recited rules like scripture. "That's how the system works," she said, cool. I interrupted fast. "I never joined your HOA, never agreed to rules. You joined automatically through boundary realignment, public record." She tapped that clipboard again, power play pure. "You could have objected earlier." They handed me the map signature stamped by Richard Clean. But I knew the truth cold. "This signature is forged. Clean died 10 months before." The room stiffened, air thick with shock. Even Karen blinked once before her mask returned. Our legal team prepared everything perfectly. I leaned in close, eyes locked. "Your legal team had a dead man sign off. His funeral was at St. Paul's. I attended myself. Even if not forged, you can't swallow my acres for pickleball courts." A few folks snickered, nervous in the back. She slammed her gavel hard. "You are disrupting this meeting. We will remove you." Just then, Sheriff Bo Hargreaves stepped in, hat in hand. "Morning, Elias. Got a call about disturbance." Karen tried cool. "Just an individual refusing lawful foreclosure." Bo shook his head slow. "Paperwork processed, stamped, recorded, not much I can do." "Sheriff, the document signed by a dead man," I told him. He stared at the page. Silence spoke volumes. I turned to Karen, voice low. "If one signature fake, what else forged?" That's when I saw it, first crack of fear in her eyes. That night, I walked my fence-lined boots in mud. Sky turned purple, air heavy with warning. My cattle scattered, spooked, not settled at all. 3 sections cut clean with bolt cutters. Not vandalism out here, that's straight sabotage. Someone wanted my herd on their land for violations. I crouched, fingers on the wire, professional cut. Looked toward subdivision porch, lights glowing. Silhouettes stood, recording evidence already. Footsteps approached, sudden. A skinny 16-year-old boy stood awkward. "Mr. Carter," he said, voice cracking. "You out here alone?" I asked. He nodded, eyes red-rimmed. "I needed to tell you," Miss Croft said. "HOA needed proof. Your cattle problem." She gave me $50 to cut fence. Told me no one would know. My anger turned ice cold. "What's your name, son?" "Wyatt." "Wyatt Bloom," he whispered. "You did right coming here," I said, steady. He looked down, ashamed. "I thought just scare, not whole ranch steal. You're not in trouble with me, but truth may be needed." He nodded, scared yet brave enough. That confession was pure gold, proof of sabotage. Fake boundaries, whole campaign by Karen herself. I photographed cuts, tracks, everything. Muttered, "Tonight some men trap, others gather force." Next morning, white HOA SUV rolled up my drive. Out stepped Jeremy, enforcement guy, clipboard in puff jacket. "Formal notice, expedited eviction, you have 10 days to vacate." I stared him down hard. "This ranch, Carter land, before your subdivision named." He stammered, looking at papers. "Records we have forged, signed by dead surveyor." I finished for him cold. "Fraudulent foreclosure, all of it." He flinched. "Just doing my job, sir. And I'm protecting what's mine," I replied. "Tell Karen further action is exactly what she gets." He left fast like wind chased him. Papers inside showed Phase 2 resort expansion. Bottom line, Clint Barrow beneficiary. That name slapped cold. Clint slick developer, skipped lawsuits before. HOA not just harassing, they cleared valley for luxury resort. My land, crown jewel in 40 million scheme. I dug through father's locked box in old barn. Found faded map, Department of Interior 1968. Riparian easement, Cottonwood Creek federal jurisdiction. Shield overriding any HOA county redraw. Drove to Cheyenne, map safe. Met Rachel, attorney who fought dirty clean. She saw map, eyes sharpened like blade. "Elias, this weapon, tell me everything." Fake signatures, fence cutting, Wyatt confession, developer plans. She dug tax filings, uncovered money funnel to Barrow. HOA not paying taxes, snapping foreclosed cheap to board families. Judge signing off, got campaign donations from Barrow Fund. "You're not just fighting ranch, Elias," she said. "May expose biggest land fraud county ever seen." 2 days later, HOA Community Safety Forum circus. Pamphlets painted my ranch toxic dump. Neighbors rehearsed speeches, property values, roosters waking kids. Karen ran show, introduced discredited scientist faking stats. All theater pure. When she finished, I stood tall. "Those cattle only on your land because someone cut my fence." I showed photos, tracks, witness proof. Crowd dead silent. Karen blanched white. I held phone, Wyatt confession recorded every minute. Silence thick as winter fog. No longer her show. Next morning, kitchen war room. Rachel combed documents, every fraud piece. This racketeering, interstate fraud, federal prison material. Wyatt returned, frightened mom, threatened eviction. Brought map, Phase 3 entire valley target. All for Barrow 40 million resort. With Rachel Wyatt deputy clerk, we gathered deeds, tax receipts. Father said land remembers hands that honor it. I felt it, lantern light over old tools, grandfather photo. That night I signed papers, formed Cottonwood Conservation District. Approval gave authority reclaim any HOA stole, even subdivision. Next day, courthouse square packed, news vans, protesters. Inside, Karen and Clint smug at table. Judge called hearing, Karen demanded ranch shut down. Rachel presented forged boundary dead man sign. Emails, collusion, Maryland and Clint unpaid taxes. Federal easement map, Wyatt testified. Judge face hard stone. Court acknowledges substantial fraud, forgery, harassment. I invoked eminent domain as conservation head, reclaiming every illegally annexed property at agricultural value $800 each. Karen shrieked loud. Clint tried slip out back. Judge called federal agents. Rachel smiled, "It's done, Elias." Outside as Karen and Clint led away in cuffs. Wind carried sage dust scent. Sheriff Bo nodded. One hell case. Not case, I said, reckoning. Following week Cedar Hills under conservation authority. Residents gathered, fearful, angry, confused. You're not evicted, I told them. Lease homes, agricultural rates, no bulldozers, no tricks. Part of conservation community land will heal, rules fair. Hope warmed room first time. Days later Wyatt and I walked land. You think people okay with this, he asked. Folks tougher than look, I said. Rachel joined, papers in hand. You did something big, Elias, people talk years. Didn't do alone, I replied. She smiled, but you spark. That night sun set molten gold across valley. I stood porch, peaceful, boots firm. They tried steal legacy, instead handed power, protect everyone. Land steady, carry justice on wind. So tell me, have you stood ground when pushed? Drop yes in comments. If justice, land, dignity means something, stick around. Plenty truth waiting told.